Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news read, Nigerians rejoice as a high-ranking member of President Buhari's cabinet has allegedly died of COVID-19 complication. Alright, but before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, please, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly do same by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos on YouTube. All right, let's look at the news in detail. According to a report, a high-ranking member of President Muhammadu Buhari's cabinet has died due to complication from the coronavirus disease. Nigerian investigative journalist Kemi Olunloyo dropped a bombshell on Nigerians on Thursday afternoon after she claimed one of the ranks and files in the country have passed on and haven't suffered from COVID-19 ailment. Kemi, who is known for her controversial style of reporting, has said she would give the federal government the honor of breaking the news to Nigerians and would like to read exactly from her Twitter handle. And she wrote the hashtag breaking. A high-ranking member of President Buhari's cabinet has died of hashtag coronavirus hashtag COVID-19 complication. I'll give the federal government the honor of announcing it. You cannot hide it like Yaradua. I am not telling because I value national security of Nigeria. Okay, because I value national security of Nigeria. Dr. Kemi Olunloyo. Wow. There are a lot of responses from Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians have decided to, respond to these. But before with details, we'll like to first of all look at what Nigerians are saying right away. It's really unthinkable that this kind of a thing is happening. And someone says the Nigerians are rejoicing over the dead in Aso Rock. Another person here says, and I quote, he said, "Dear at Kemi Olunloyo, I swear I will marry you with immediate effect if the story happens to be true. Fingers crossed." This is a product of excitement, I'm telling you. I don't know why Nigerians are overly excited about this. And another one here says, Proverbs chapter 11 verse 4, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. Let God's will be done. That's a strong one there. And another one says, it can only be Abakari. Whoa. I believe everyone's predictions are the same in this case. And that will lead to military takeover because he's indirectly the president of Nigeria. And Jubril will be confused. Another one here says, in this life, nobody sabi tomorrow. All of a sudden, nobody doubts Dr. Kemi's info anymore. In fact, we now rely on her info more than others. Not too long ago, a lot here all would drag her for chasing clots or for seeking attention. Respect to the woman. And I want to say irony of life. I once disliked her, but last I finally understand her. She says it the way it is, no sugar coding. This one says here, they should accept my well done, well nothing, no sympathy, concern, or empathy of any sort. All the best for them. Me that I am tempted to type more of it in his cabinet in Jesus' name. Another person here is saying that he's almost been tempted. He wanted to type more of such happening in the cabinet of the president. Wow. And if your expectation, not really expectation, call it expectation, but what is playing now in your mind is exactly what is playing in my mind. I think that there's a lot of confusion that is going to be taking place very soon. Some few days ago when this issue of Abakari came up, I'm not saying it's Abakario that is dead though, God bless me weakness, but I saw something on the internet and I want to make reference to it. And one international guy came up and said something that right now with Abakari being sick, based on the fact that this government was centered around him. And I was wondering, how did he know? Which therefore means that everything that has been going on in the country, the white guys have been putting their ears to it. the likes of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not spared in sending out information. Fairly recently, we heard the likes of this guy also, Imam of Peace, coming up and lambasting the president as if they are mates. Man, the guy doesn't spare our president. He blasted our president to the extent that some people now had to say, "Oh God, he don't do now." So after that, before we know, he started giving out monies to Nigeria, courtesy of Apostle Johnson Suleiman and all of that. But then I was surprised when the guy said that if anything happens to him, that Nigeria is going to suffer in terms of leadership, because it seems everything revolves around Abba Kyari. Now, we do not know, because if you listen to the content of that tweet, you will know that it's not a commonplace person that is dead. According to Dr. Kemi, she said a high-ranking member, and in high-ranking member of President Buhari's cabinet has died of coronavirus complication. And at least we know some persons. When you're talking about cabinet, I think we're looking more at the cabal. First of all, the only person in the cabal that is currently sick is Abba Kyari, and some 3 other persons which we do not know who they are. The only thing is that for a while now, Shey, who have not really visited Gaba, Shey, who has not really spoken out as he normally does. But when it comes to apart from Shey Gaba, whom we've not seen for a while, and the likes of Femi Adesina, Loretta is always on, and also the likes. Apart from those other people, the key person that we know that his health condition was announced, that he was sick of COVID-19, was Abba Kyari. And for a while now, we have not really been able to say anything about his health. Someone, this guy, Nnamdi Kanu, came up and said that he had been moved immediately to Cuba, but then after like 2 days, there was an announcement that he was still in town, And by the time the president came up and gave updates on the COVID-19 and what the federal government is doing about it, we also noticed that the same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came up and told Nigerians that, hey, what you're seeing is a pre-recorded broadcast, and based on certain things, he took snapshots of 1 or 2 things and said it was one Havana hotel in Cuba, Cuba, where the broadcasting took place, and with a lot of comparison was carried out and all of that. And then after a while, this guy also came over, Bakari came up and told Nigerians that, hey, he wasn't going to be using any facility from Nigeria, that he's going to be moved from Abuja down to Lagos, only for this guy to say, well, though they have been chatting, and the commissioner of health in Lagos came up and said, though they have been chatting, though they have been interacting, but he doesn't know the whereabouts of Abba Kyari in Lagos. And Nigerians were like, hey, is it that this thing is true? Don't forget that before he came up to dismiss the fact that Abba Kyari wasn't in Lagos, Abba Kyari, there was this public outcry that Abba Kyari has been moved from Abuja down to Lagos. So most people wanted to know where he is actually. But guess what? The most amazing aspect of this is that Nigerians all have been wishing that man dead. Hey, I'm telling you the whole truth. If you've been, anytime his issue pops up in the internet, the wishes of Nigerians for that man had always been, let him die, let him die. He's behind all the troubles in Nigeria and all of that. So, but hey, we do not really know what his situation is. But with this kind of publication, with this kind of announcement by Kemi Olunloyo, it therefore means that something very drastic has happened. If you want to classify this information and try to point out who this may be talking about, if actually it is true, because it's still alleged, but if you want to look at it very well, you notice that only 3 persons were sick of this. And the first person that will come to your mind, topmost in the list, will be Abba Kyari, and seconded by El-Rufai. El-Rufai also had been announced as being sick of or having the virus in him. And thirdly, this guy, Bala Mohammed. And then Sheyi Makinde is not really, like say he's in the cabinet, he's a PDP guy. Bala Mohammed, the same thing, is a PDP guy. But El-Rufai and Abba Kyari, they are people who have, to some extent, a stronghold on power here in Nigeria. So, but the case of Abba Kyari is most likely to be the one Let me give you the reason. Number one, already they said that they had some, sicknesses that he has been trying to treat. When he was announced of being sick, they had to send a report of his, sick file from, I think, London down to Nigeria. And most people said that the content of the report was that he is sick of diabetes, and that the diagnosis of diabetes, and others say that he has been going there for treatment. That's what they told us. But with what has just happening, because based on her announcement, she said because of complication, which means that they may have been a sickness inside of him before COVID-19 showed up. Well, the truth of the matter is nothing is hidden on it. No matter how much they hide it, the truth will still come out. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a hoot. She says she must announce it to honor, the federal government. She said, I will give the federal government the honor of announcing it. I believe that before the close of the day, or tomorrow or next tomorrow, no matter how long it will be kept, if it is actually true, the news will come out. And this is really, really touching. We have to, lend voice to a lot of things that have been happening in the country to contribute because right now, if truly what they are saying is true, if there had been any secret, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been talking about the person who is up there, that he's not actually Buhari. I do not know. But with what has just happened, I think the truth will start unveiling itself, because the truth a lie cannot be in the throne forever. That's where we're going to leave you. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What's your position about this information given by Dr.